I'm gonna need help from a friend. My best friend, the jellyfish. Incoming ad break. I better fucking or it's gonna fucking happen. While I'm fighting it. I like how you can just almost see his ass crack. But like not fully. Like down. Look at that. Oh. The jellyfish is fine, don't worry. Oh! What? No! Okay, I just fucking said get down, Mr. President, to my jellyfish. What the fuck? I didn't know he did that. Yeah, I sacrificed myself. I saved him. Stupid. I didn't know he did that. He didn't do that last time. It was beautiful. You should clip it. Clip it so I can make a fucking shit post. So emotional. Bruh! Yeah. Wow, look at his waist. The devs are not straight. Oh my god! Sorry. Where did he go? Oh! Rest in peace, my granny. Uh-oh. Pardon me. Blech! Okay. I need to get fucking closer to him, or he's just gonna spam me, isn't he? Oh my god. Yeah, miss. Just keep missing. It's really funny, actually. What? Oh, you. Ooh. Mr. President. Right, there's an ad coming in 4 fucking minutes. Thanks, Jeff Bezos. Oh my god, his ass is a work of art. Oh, God! He's actually distracting me. He's actually distracting me, like I keep fucking looking. That arch. No, it's not the arch, it's the two bones. It's like, I don't know what they're called, but it's like your back. Like for men, their back is like this. Men have narrow hips, but right before their ass, in like very lean people, it's not always just lean people. There's like a bone that you can see here, sort of, and then there's also sometimes like these dimples as well, and they're called like dimples of Venus or something like that. Like, oh my god, amazing. We went to Rome on a school trip in secondary school, and I understand the girls who were just walking around looking at the statues and they'd just be like, oh, and then you're just taking pictures shit of like their asses. Wait, you can't push me off the map, can you? I shouldn't ask that question. Like, we know the answer. Leave him alone! Yeah. Ah! How do I dodge that? I can see his ass! Oh my god, it's actually distracting. How am I supposed to beat this boss? Every time he bends over, I get a fucking glimpse of heaven. Oh! Imagine if the robe slips. No! 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 Wow. How am I supposed to focus on the fucking game? On Twitter, people be saying male fantasy. Well, to be fair, men can look like this. That's just muscle. You have to be very gifted though, and basically not eat to be that lean. Yeah, damn. Holy shit. Well, the Greeks were making statues like that thousands of years ago, so they got it. And then their statues of women looked fucking dumpy. Like they understood. Like those guys were so gay. Get him this time, surely. Well, I'm one-handing my sword, which is a great start. Can you fucking two-hand your sword, you moron? Thank you. Holy shit. Ah! Hello, subscribers. It's just me and you. There is an ad break. No. Ah. Well, I guess he is related to Radad. I never get ads on Twitch because my ad blocker works all the time. Okay, make sure you share which ad blocker you're using. I should get a fucking ad blocker company to like sponsor me. Or do you think Twitch would even allow that? Oh my god. Or it's like he's like 1% body fat or like 0.3% body fat or some shit. And he's still got that much cake. Insane. You are on mobile. You really have a way with words. Google Twitch ad solutions on Twitch and go to the first GitHub link and use the waft over script there. None of us are smart enough to do that. I'm sorry. Also, no offense, Zach. I don't think you're... Well, if you can figure that out, then sure, but I'm gonna be able to. I hate GitHub. Jellyfish? Oh, okay. Fuck. Required you to read like 2 cents again. No, I'm too busy for that. In my brain, I'm always thinking about other things, you know. because his ass was in my fucking face. Thinking about Dude, look. How am I supposed to kill him? Why would I want to kill him? Why can't I just, like, enslave him instead or something? Average Brit. Oh, shut up. Oh my god, I forgot about the fucking death counter. Oh well. Taking my jump off. They subject to No! Oh my god. It was a joke. Slavery is not cool. That's like totally not cool, yo. Anyway, this guy's evil, right? I mean, he seems pretty evil. He is trying to kill me after all. If I have to keep him in a cage, naked, to stop him from killing me, then that's not the wrong thing to do. Oh my god. Like, you can see it from the front. Fuck. You can see when she looks at— No, you can't! You actually can— you cannot. I don't have eye tracking yet. He cheated on his girlfriend. Yeah, no, he deserves to die then. He is evil. Fuck. Why would he do that? In the clip, you can see you liar. I did not. I did not. I did not. I'm gonna be stuck on this for ages. Peeking around bro's slutty held a message for misogyny. Okay, was peeking around. He showed me it. Also, I had to tab out to allow this message. Fuck. Leave me alone. He actually has such a slutty waist. I feel like a fucking 16-year-old. Also, hello, Shinatobe. First time chat. You are from YouTube or TikTok? Or did you find me from Twitch? I'd like to know. Not many people find me from Twitch because the Twitch algorithm is fucking dreadful. YouTube Shorts, nice, nice. My effort has paid off. Oops. Uh-oh. Hey, can I have a jellyfish pet, please? Thanks. I found you on YouTube. Shit, really? But I swear you'd been following for like ages. Oh yeah, fuck, I guess. Wait, so what was I playing in November? Oh, I was fucking eldenring. Oh, I guess YouTube, I guess. Maybe I should stop complaining about YouTube. They made me do a survey the other day. And they were like, how much do you think that YouTube works in your best interest? And I was like, it doesn't. I'm not allowed to swear. And also, like the clips where I'm not talking until like the middle of the video do so much better because people hear my voice, scroll past. They think I'm a 10-year-old boy. It's sad but true. It's just something I've got to deal with. Like, I mean, I'd scroll past if I heard someone who sounded like a child as well. It was for ages you were playing CS on YouTube and you played so bad I needed to... Shut up! Wait, so you watched the long CSGO video? I still have some Valorant stuff to make. Part 2 of the first Valorant stream. I have it edited. It was where the kid was fucking telling me to shut the fuck up. Or calling me a motherfucker. Fuck. You know, the microbe. I'm thinking of just buying Skyrim, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'm that bad at CSGO. Like, it's not an easy game. First of all. Oh, I should change this. He does magic, right? Or is it lightning? Like, what is his magic type? Is it just normal magic, or is it holy? You were looking at ground perma... Yeah, because... Oh my god, look. You know Zarya in Overwatch? You can right-click jump, right? You do the fucking secondary fire jump to boost you forward faster. That is how you got out of spawn and got back to the fight faster. Especially when you were a feeder trolling in Diamond at the fucking spawn door to the spawn camp of Mercy. And then you die and then you have to get back fast because you just trolled. So I would always be looking at the floor because I had to do that. That's probably one of the reasons, I guess. Red Dragon is weak to fire, that's all. That is good to know. So I could use pots. I don't think I should use this. It's making me fucking... Oh, non-physical damage, yeah. Yeah, he's also weak to a stiff dick. Look at his fucking back arch. It's too far. Holy damage and physical. Fuck. Uh-oh. Jellyfish must protect me while I... Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm on my way. I'm helping you. Wink. Bruh. Please, allow me. He doesn't even speak. Like, he doesn't even speak. He's like... He's silent. So I guess I should... I don't need this, do I? Just put this on. Oh, I wish I hadn't wasted all of my fucking rune arcs. Should I go invade people to get more? How many people do I need to kill to get more? Stupid. I don't know, just kill Red Dragon. Yeah, okay, bro. So I'm guessing that's Queen Marika. I'm surprised you haven't even... I've at least gotten him half health. I don't know how I haven't gotten him to second phase. Pardon me. Fucking hell. Don't know, by the way, lol. Shut up. This is not second phase. Rest in peace, my jellyfish. Why is he Goku? Why does he fucking teleport? This is not how is it not? Look how low he is. Wait, so you're saying he has an extra health bar? I'm not doing it tonight. It's already 1 AM. Not happening tonight. Oh! No. Nope. Has to be... This is one of the easiest endgame bosses. Well, I don't know. I'm struggling. It's definitely easier than Godfrey, but Be calling it for the day? No, I kind of want to play Garlic Phone, you know? Maybe I could just take a break. I'll be right back. And I go to the bathroom, and then I'll think about whether I want to try him again or not. Yeah, what's the problem? Oops. That is... That was the wrong fucking, Here we go. See? Authenticated. Oh! Okay, it's fine. Um... Put some crazy frog on, like the fucking music. Why? '18 plus garlic phone. Not wholesome. No, because then fucking people are just gonna do swastikas. Mother makes fuel from the bones. What?